Such a gross sound. Hey guys, it's me, Candace, the Edgy Veg. Welcome back to my channel. I have received a lot of requests for a dish that I've been making for years. It was one of the first videos that I ever shot. So today I'm going to show you how to make the famous Edgy Veg tofu scramble. I really want to show you guys the basics of a tofu scramble and then also all the fun ways that you can elevate it a little bit. So adding your favorite vegetables, adding some of your favorite vegan cheeses to really make it your own and how to use it in a couple of different ways. And I'm so excited today because today's video is sponsored once again by Skillshare, one of my favorite online communities where you can take courses and workshops based on your schedule. Say you want to learn, I don't know, how to take care of your plants or how to be better at photography. You can, fit that in after work, before work. Super excited because Skillshare is once again giving away a premium membership to the first 500 people who click the link in my description box down below for 2 months. And then after that, it is only $10 a month. There's so many great things that you can learn. I decided to take a course this month called Real Productivity, How to Build Habits That Last. So Thomas Frank is a productivity expert, also a YouTuber, and what he does is he brings you back down to basics of productivity. So I find that sometimes I get bogged down and I need help getting out of that. Sometimes I need a reminder that perfection is actually really unproductive sometimes. It's really taught me how to work smarter, not harder, so getting the most amount of work done that I can do in a short amount of time. So once again, Skillshare is giving away 2 months unlimited to the first 500 people that click the link in my description box down below. Seriously guys, check it out. It's so much cheaper than going to an in-person workshop, and it works for your schedule. And so without further ado, let's learn something here by making my famous tofu scramble. So my tofu scramble is one of those recipes, it's like a sleeper. I made it in 2012. I think I put it up on my blog, I put it up on my YouTube channel, and it's just one of those ones that almost gets better with age. I tend to alter it depending on my mood. I always know when it's the weekend because I have a select few people that tag me in their posts every single weekend because they make this recipe every single weekend. Evra, I'm looking at you. All right, like I said, this is a OG Edgy Veg recipe. I just haven't shown it to you guys, a lot of my new subscribers. So I wanted to kind of take that video and take that recipe and revamp it for you. The thing that makes my tofu scramble a little bit different than someone else's, for example, is that I like to use a sauce to really infuse the kind of eggy flavors into tofu. The other thing that I do is I do half medium tofu and half firm tofu. And what this does is it creates a difference in texture, kind of like you would have with eggs. Medium tofu really does have that same texture that a scrambled egg has. Whereas the firm tofu, it's just that, it's a little bit firmer, it adds a nice texture, it's a little bit denser, so you do get a kind of difference in texture that you would get in a normal scrambled egg if you were to use eggs as opposed to tofu. The other thing that I do is that I use a vegetable bouillon or a no chicken vegetarian bouillon in my sauce. And what this does is just adds a more robust flavor to the tofu. It infuses because it is a bouillon, so it's meant to flavor soup, obviously. So it flavors the tofu a little bit differently than just, your traditional nutritional yeast and black salt. If you've never seen black salt or you don't use black salt and you love to make, eggy but vegan recipes, I definitely recommend that you get that. Also called kala namak. And what it is it's an Indian salt that has a really sulfuric taste and smell. So it will smell like eggs and will help create that kind of sulfuric flavor that eggs have. So the first thing I'm going to do is crumble my 2 different types of tofu into a bowl. I'm going to drain both, but don't worry about pressing them. You don't need to press it too much. We're going to cook the liquid out of the tofu. If you have a tofu press, feel free to press them. If you're pressed for time, that was a pun, it's not a big deal. We are adding more liquid to the tofu anyway and then waiting for it to evaporate. So you can just go ahead and just crumble up the tofu with your hands. It's the easiest way to do it. So like I said, with the texture, you're going to get these little firmer bits and then you will get the more slimier egg-like texture with the medium tofu. And this is a recipe that feeds about 4. If you are just, making something for yourself or for yourself and one other person, you can just use 1 block of tofu. And if you are going to use 1 block of tofu, I suggest using the medium firm because it definitely has a more egg-like texture. Such a gross sound. All right, so just give that a little toss. Now let's work on the sauce after I wash my hands. So I have this tiny blender. You can even do this. You don't have to do this in a blender. You can do this in a bowl with a whisk. I like to make sure that all of my ingredients are nice and fine. So our sauce is going to have nutritional yeast, turmeric for color, garlic powder for some flavor, of course, black salt and pepper. You can use either half of a vegetable bouillon cube, or you can also use this Better Than Bouillon Vegetarian. Just if you're using a vegetable bouillon, be careful of the color of it. Some of them are green and you'll end up with green eggs. All right, so we've got our nutritional yeast, and what this will do is add kind of a buttery, eggy flavor. We have pepper, garlic powder, we have our turmeric for color, and we have our black salt. And then I'm going to use half of a teaspoon of the Better Than Bouillon, and then we are going to add a cup of water. I like the water to be warm, so just go ahead and blend that, or if you are doing this in a bowl, whisk it until there are no lumps. It definitely smells like eggs already. To a pan heating up over medium-high heat, I'm just gonna add my tofu. You don't need any oil or anything because this is quite moist and you're going to be adding more liquid. Then I'm going to add my sauce. Make sure you get every little bit here. And after it is combined, I'm going to let this simmer for about 4 minutes without moving it. And the reason I'm doing that is I am trying to cook the liquid out of the tofu and get the texture that I want. Okay, so after 4 minutes of not moving it at all, give it a quick toss. You'll notice that as it cooks, it gets a little bit more yellow and brighter. So we're going to do the same thing, except now I'm going to let it rest for about like 5 to 10 minutes until the liquid is gone, giving it a turn every once in a while. So every like few minutes you can come in and turn it. And what that's going to do is it's going to create more surface area, more of an opportunity for the liquid to evaporate. Okay, so this is the basic tofu scramble. It's delicious on its own. You can, eat it with some toast or put it on toast or put it on a breakfast sandwich. You can put it in breakfast burritos. It's great as it is, but sometimes I like to just mix it up. So there's a couple variations. In another pan, sometimes I'll have some onions and garlic going and I'll add that in after. Sometimes mushrooms, sometimes red pepper, sometimes spinach. I like to add a little bit of dill, chives, that sort of thing on top. So it's really just a blank canvas to do whatever. You can do like a Tex-Mex style and add some salsa in there. I think I'm just going to toss in some red pepper. Toss in some of those, some spinach. This is a great way to add more greens into your diet, and then maybe some tomatoes as well. And just give that a toss. And I like for my veggies to still be a little bit crunchy, but I want my spinach to be wilted, so I'll just kind of shove the spinach down in there. Cheese in here is really good. If you have like a really nice vegan cheese that you love, you can toss that in there. All right, so I'm going to let that wilt, and then we're ready to eat. There you have my famous tofu scramble. And thank you so much to Skillshare again for sponsoring this video. Don't forget that they are giving away 2 free months of a premium membership to the first 500 people who click the link in my description box down below. And after that, it's only $10 a month. Let's give this guy a try. Oh my God, it's so good. I honestly prefer tofu scramble over regular scrambled eggs. I know I haven't had scrambled eggs in years, and I definitely always liked it more. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new here. I make new videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. And if you like these recipes, give it a big thumbs up and let me know in the description box down below if you have any recipe requests. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Yum.